All right, listen up. Your mission briefing starts now.
Yes, you. You say you want to speak Japanese, but you can't stand studying. All that vocabulary, all that grammar. You just look at it and your brain shuts down. It's impossible. Sound familiar?
I thought so. At least you're honest. So, I have a mission for a lazy soldier like you. Forget about getting better. Forget about fluency. Today's objective is much simpler. Do not die on the battlefield of conversation.
On the battlefield, silence is surrender, it's death. But I'm about to issue you some weapons. If you use them, the conversation keeps moving forward, even if you haven't studied a single page. I expect you to internalize every command I give you.
Here's the mission. Survive conversation.
We'll start with Level 1, Basic Defense.
Tell me, what's the one moment you dread more than any other? It's when the enemy, the person you're talking to, says something and you have no idea what it was. Don't you dare freeze. Don't go silent. That is the single worst thing you can do.
So you will memorize these commands. First, sumimasen, wakarimasen. Next, mouichiro itte kudasai. If they're still unclear, you give them a direct order. Hakkiri hanashite kudasai. Or even, yasashii nihongo de hanashite kudasai. Remember, conversation is not a test. It's not about speed. If you're lost, you stop the enemy cold. Tell them, chotto matte kudasai. Your first duty is to protect yourself. Is that clear?
Good. Let's move on to Level 2.
Can't think of the word you need? It doesn't matter. Don't even try. Use these weapons instead. Kore, sore, and are. You don't know the word for menu? Just point. Kore wa nan desu ka? Sore wa daijoubu desu ka? Are arimasu ka? See? The conversation moves forward, even without the right noun. Forget about being perfect. Your only goal is to maintain momentum.
Now for Level 3, the chotto gambit. This is where the real fight begins. You need to understand something about the Japanese language. It has an ultimate weapon, and that weapon is ambiguity. And the key to wielding this weapon is a single command. Chotto-cha. With just this one word, you can defend yourself against almost any verbal assault. Pay attention to the following combat simulations.
First up, an invitation you want to refuse. The enemy asks, want to go for a drink sometime? Your counterattack, chotto. It means, no, I'm not going, but it's a soft blow. It gets the job done without causing collateral damage.
Second scenario, you're asked if you like something that, frankly, you can't stand. They ask, do you like this? Your counter, chotto. What you're really saying is, not really.
No. Third, you're being pushed to agree with an idea you think is terrible. This is a good idea, right? You reply, chotto. This signals, I'm not so sure about that. Fourth, you're being pressured for an answer you can't give yet. The enemy demands, can you decide now? Your defense, chotto. It means, no, that's not happening right now.
And finally, an intrusive question about private information. How much is your salary? The only response you need is, chotto. This means there is no way I'm telling you that.
So, what do you think? It's a pretty useful weapon, isn't it? Japanese people are trained to hear the words that come after chotto. They immediately understand, okay, it's a no. You don't even have to finish the sentence. Just say chotto with a slightly pained expression, and you've won. Now, if you want to make your position perfectly clear, you can add these reinforcements. Chotto muzukashii desu, or chotto wakarimasen. With these, your defense is impenetrable. Now for Level 4, Sly Offensive Maneuvers. This is advanced tactics. The enemy asks a question you can't possibly answer, but surrender is not an option. In this situation, you will buy yourself time, and then you will forcibly change the subject. The command you will use is this. So desu ne, tokoro de.
This is what I call the topic pivot maneuver. With so desu ne, you deploy a smokescreen. You pretend to think about their question. Then, with tokoro de, you execute a hard pivot, bringing the battle to territory you control. You seize the initiative.
Observe. The enemy loves a high-level question at you. What do you think of Japan's declining birth rate issue? You're completely out of your depth. It's a trap.
Here is your counteroffensive. そうですね。ところで、日本の子供の学校生活はどうですか? You see what you did. You just turned a complex socioeconomic problem into a simple question about everyday life. A brilliant move. You completely ignored their question and are now fighting the battle on your own terms. On to Level 5. Involve others. You never fight a battle alone if you can help it. When you're in a group and you get lost, you turn to the person next to you and say, "Sumimasen, anata wa?" This does two things. It buys you precious time and it lets you hear the topic discussed again. Then, all you have to do is copy their answer. It's not cheating, it's a sound, rational strategy.
And finally, level 6, the training exercise.
Knowing these techniques is useless if you don't put them into practice. You need field experience. You need what we call bakazu. But I know you're afraid of failure. Fine, practice in a location where you always have an escape route. Your training ground is the train.
Your mission is simple. Approach a station employee or a fellow passenger. These are the only phrases you'll need. Sumimasen, tsugi no eki wa nan desu ka? Kono densha wa station name ni tomarimasu ka? Place name wa dochi desu ka?
And what happens if the conversation goes sideways and you start to panic? Simple. You hit the eject button. Sumimasen, okurimasu. Forced termination. You escape. 10 3-minute conversations are 10 rounds of experience. It's a safe, controlled experiment. Your orders are to do it immediately. Now, listen closely. I've taught you these sly techniques, but I have one final critical warning.
Using these weapons, you can survive a conversation. You can avoid silence. But if this is all you ever do, what do you think will happen? People will start to see you as the person who never really answers a question, the person who ends every other sentence with, chotto. You will not build deep friendships this way. You will not have meaningful discussions. You must remember this. These are tactics for survival, not connection. Real connection requires real vocabulary, real grammar, and a real desire to understand.
Ultimately, yes, it comes down to study. But everyone gets the order wrong. You do not start by burying your head in a textbook. First, you get out there, into the field. You use the weapons I gave you today to survive. You rack up those experience points. You build your confidence. And then you experience the joy of actually connecting with someone. Serious study begins after that. Conversation is not some innate talent. It's not about being brave. It is about design. And today, I have handed you the lazy soldier, the ultimate blueprint for that design. The rest is up to you.
Stand up, go outside, and speak. That is all. Dismissed.